Travis?
He's in.
Injury or vet day?
Well, a little bit of both, just trying to take care of him, and get him a little bit of rest.
Nothing you would anticipate being lingering or long-term?
Nothing I would anticipate.
But you don't know.
But you don't know.
Is that all you're able to say on it, or want to say on it?
Both.
Ron, you've talked a lot last year with the rule change as far as when you cut down the roster. What have you, learned from that process last year to now as you approach it again?
Well, you can do a lot more things than when it starts getting limited, because you really don't want to play the guys that you expect to play at the beginning of the year. Now we can continue to keep the practices going with a rhythm. You don't have to worry about getting guys out. And so we try to take advantage of that. We really do, and it's been really good.
Ron, 3 new coordinators, obviously a long period of time since January, and vibing together, feeling each other out. What are some things that they have brought now and learned now that they maybe didn't have when they came in?
Well, I think, start with special teams. There's this synergy between the two guys, that Chase and Heath have developed. I also think because they're guys that are, they speak in a voice of experience in terms of having been through it. I think that the guys gravitate towards them a little bit, and they get it a little bit differently because of the perspective that they both have. And I think that's really helped the special teams. I really do. On the offensive side, you have a guy that's got a tremendous amount of experience developing quarterbacks, developing running games, developing passing games. So you see everybody kind of just leans in and listen when Nor's talking, and deservedly so. He's had a tremendous amount of success. And then on the defensive side, even though it's a new coordinator, it's also a guy that's been in this system for 8 seasons now, and he has a tremendous rapport with the guys, and I think that's really been helpful as well. So, there are some things that are different, but a lot of things have stayed the same.
Last week you brought up the decision to go with Mike as opposed to Kurt this offseason. Can you expand more on why you made that decision? We're talking about the safeties last week.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Well, again, it's just one of those things that when you look at certain things, certain elements of people, you have to make tough decisions, and we made a tough one. There's a lot of reasons why, but when you look at what we have back there, we have a very, very veteran guy in Mike Adams, and a guy that plays a different position than Kurt, and we felt that that keeping Mike gave us an opportunity to go out and find a different type player, completely opposite of Mike, and we went out and did that. We feel pretty good about what we've gotten from Searcy so far. We feel very good about the development of Sean Golden. We really do. We just think that this young guy's got an opportunity. He's going to be part of what we're doing going forward.
Ron, what do you remember about being a rookie linebacker and kind of the learning curve you faced as a player?
Oh gosh, when I came in the league, obviously it was a little bit different. I came in and was playing for Buddy Ryan, and Buddy did what we called AFCs. It's called automatic front coverages, and back then the Mike linebacker handled the calls based on that. So when you learned the game, you just didn't learn what you were doing, but you had to learn how to change things and make things go. And there was a huge learning curve. It really was. I'd never been part of anything like that. And then he had also what's called a BTF, blitz formation. Same thing. You called blitzes as the middle linebacker. You changed blitzes as the middle linebacker based on what your opponent was doing. So there was a lot of studying involved. And it was the other big difference, obviously, was back then you had two-a-days in pads, a lot more contact. And you basically went 15 days straight before you had your first day off. Yeah. And things really have changed a lot.
So is it easier for these rookies in this linebacker
I wouldn't say
class?
Easier. It's different. But I like this linebacker class. I think it's a very good one, Brian. I really do like the things that these guys have brought to the table. And we've got a bunch of young guys that are really competing the heck out there, and it's going to be tough. I mean, we've got a good group of guys. I mean, you've got 10 guys you really like. There's going to be a lot of tough decisions.
Sounds like a tough decision might be approaching in the running backs room as well. I mean, all those guys showed out Friday.
They did. They all have unique quality. They all have a skill set. And every one of those guys we brought in belongs in camp, you know. And the hard part is, you know, you've got a couple of young guys that we're really trying to find out about, but at the same time we haven't been able to use them. You know, both Reggie Bonifant and Elijah Hood are two young guys that both flash very well during practices. Both have, you know, had some opportunities, but they've been limited, and you'd really like to see what they have.
You mentioned Elijah. He got to score a touchdown at home in the town that he grew up in. You know, how meaningful is something like that for a football player?
Well, it's very meaningful for a football player. I mean, you know, I know at one point he had declared where he was going to go to college, and then changed his mind and went to UNC Chapel Hill because he wanted to stay close to home. And you know, this is an opportunity I think that a lot of young men wish they could have, and he has it right now. And I know it meant a lot to him, and he's been practicing well and played well. And again, like I said, he's, you know, one of those guys you want to try and get some more opportunities to, because you really want to see what you have.
Is it worrisome that you're mixing and matching so much up front, or is it, you know, a chance to actually look at some of these guys?
It's a little worrisome because what you really want to do is you want to try and continue to build that continuity, but you know, hopefully this is just a little bit of blip. But at the same time, it's given us an opportunity to see what Taylor Moton can do. I mean, he's played very well at the right tackle spot. We threw him today at left tackle a little bit. We've been moving guys, you know, right and left, and it is a good opportunity. But again, hopefully this is not something that, you know, that we've got to worry about.